Hello everybody, Jet here and welcome back to my Beastmen campaign. As you might remember, we have just taken Karakizor. We've pulled back from the marauding forces of Tilia with one of our little armies here. So we are a little low, we take a little bit of a hit on some of our troops. We're not doing badly at the moment. As you can probably see, we are still in a quite good nick. We've also got a Bray Herd with us now as well, which is going to really help us start pushing us on as well. So we are getting into a very nice position now. Got a little bit of levelling up to do before we move on. Let's see. We're now full on training. Got all the important ones up there. Got all the weapons ones, so we're going to start pushing up defences on him. Okay, we're going to push to growth next. Though raiding income is also useful. Oh, horde growth is also very useful, so we're going to start pushing on that. And let's end turn, because I do want to get those guys growing as quickly as I can, because that means they can then start reducing the income, the upkeep they cost, not the income, but I can start reducing their upkeep, which means I can start working on other things. Now we do have a lot of dwarfs heading our way, so I can either go butt with them head on, or I can jump. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to jump back here. So they recapped this behind me. I'm not actually that upset about it, and I can even potentially circle back round to knock it over for growth from it as well if they do that. Though I need to start getting more income now, because I've got about, on my current upkeep, I've got about 10 turns of non-raid, 10 turns worth of upkeep while I'm not raiding. If I start raiding through places, especially some wealthy areas, that will obviously start going, that will not be as bad, and I'll start getting a lot more. I'll start potentially getting some income again. But this is where it does start getting tricky, because maintaining those other hordes is going to maintain those other hordes, I'm going to have to keep being aggressive. But if I'm being aggressive, I'm going to whittle down my hordes, so it gets very tricky. So I'm potentially going to be using Dark Moons to get my hordes back to full strength as much as I can as well. So unfortunately my Skaven allies do seem to be suffering there. Telia has a recapped there, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing. I can always go and smash that in a few turns for a bit of income, for a bit of growth for one of my smaller hordes. However, I want to start pushing to places where I'm going to be able to make more income. Now, I could push down that way, push through here and push through Estelia, which would benefit me. I want the extra Bestial Rage, because that is something I've been struggling with at the moment, and Bestial Rage obviously gets me Bray Herds, and Bray Herds are good. Right. Let's have some fun, guys. Do you think they're worried about me now? So yeah, and this is that isn't a lord. But he's been carried. So yeah, I think I've put. Do you think they know what I'm planning on, guys? Maybe, just maybe they might know what I'm planning on doing here. So we're gonna smash here, and then we're potentially gonna push back around to Karakizor if they recap that, and work my way back down this way. But they are now bringing up everything to try and fight me. Okay, so we are defending against the dwarfs. This is a big army, but we have a lot of armies here as well. So this guys is going to be a battle. This isn't just going to be a battle. This is going to be a humongous battle. Oh, this isn't going to be somewhere good to fight it, though. So this could be tricky. This isn't actually how I wanted to be fighting them, so maybe I should have been a little bit more subtle in my charge. I could have always pulled them back, but that wouldn't have been a good idea. Because we are in the beast paths here. However, we're going to be getting a ton of reinforcements here, but so are they. So this is just going to end up being a slugfest at the far end, which I'm probably not going to do as well out of. However, I'm defending, so actually I'm going to let them... Unusually, I'm going to try and let them come to me before I engage them and start driving them back across the map. Because that way, well, I'll have my reinforcements there, we'll have a stronger line. But the main thing I want to do is get behind them and just start shredding them, and then, because we're going to have to reform, because with this many things, all of these guys are not going to be on the battle map at once. Oh, that is not good, so I'm actually going to have to, let's gamble, I'm actually going to have to push forwards straight away here. Because I need to reinforce my guys pretty much instantly as they come in. Sorry, I had a few too many selected there. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, so we're going to be getting engaged heavily there, and I might even, well, I'm very possibly going to lose that early engagement. These guys are going to have to start heading straight up. So these guys can head straight up. Right, this is where things get tricky. And they have reinforcements coming in right from behind them. They are not moving on me, which is good. We can start rejigging a little bit here. And now I need to go. There is no subtlety. I have to push straight in here because my guys are reinforcing into them. So, no subtlety. We are just going now. We literally reinforced directly into them. Which, as you can imagine, is not ideal. Oh, this is not good. You guys can just charge. You guys can get yourselves down to the line there. You guys can just start charging. This isn't a battle so much as just a mass charge, really. And the unfortunate thing, the annoying thing is, as I lose units, as they lose units, more units are just going to keep wandering back into the battlefield here. This should be a nice hit. Straight in here to support these guys. We're getting more people coming on. No, we got my Craven warriors are fleeing. I'm not surprised. You guys can keep moving forwards. You guys can keep pushing. Right. Let's chuck this hex out. Where can I chuck that? Drop some leadership down. Let's augment somebody so you can cause terror. You can smash into the back of here. You guys can all start pushing on here. You can actually pull back a bit. Okay, some of you guys can start hammering in back here. You guys can all hammer into here. Oh, this is getting messy. However, we are doing nicely. Let's get a wind spell off through these guys again. We're going to hit some of our own here, but it's not too bad. Where is my Sigor? How is he doing? He is just happily throwing things. We're getting more guys in here, so let's start charging these guys down. This is as some of my guys break and leave. As my guys break and leave, we start getting new guys wandering in. But let's get some of you guys around the back, actually. You guys can actually pull around the back. Okay, this is it. We're starting to break them. Some of you guys can hammer over here into their other range. Oh, this is bloody. This is their main sort of clump here. You can see, guys, my PC is not doing well with this, as you can probably see from the lack of frame rate with so many models on the battlefield here. Right, Giant, you can slam into the side of them. Okay, where's Malagor? We are beginning to pull them to pieces now. Let's whack this here. Come on! See, this is the tricky bit, because they're just... as they break, more and more come back in. So there's no real tactics to this battle. This is just a slugfest, unfortunately. Okay, we are beginning to shatter more of them here, and I think we might have a mass rout on our hands. So that's what we really need here. Is we need a mass rout. If we get a mass rout, they stop getting reinforcements. Oh, so we've got this, guys. We still have a runesmith here. Malagor's actually doing well in melee combat here. So that is all they have left. So let's double time him. Look at this battlefield, guys. Look at the ground here. I mean, beastmen and dwarfs. Poor Razorgore there. But you know, this is just a massacre. You know, so many dead here. Can't quite work out if there's more dwarfs or there's definitely more dwarfs. But in places there's definitely big piles of Beastmen as well on the ground. You see like here. So yes, that was definitely a battle. That was a close victory. That was not a tactical battle at all. So we lost 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1300. They lost similar. They lost slightly more. So that was a fairly mediocre battle on both sides. While we won, it was a hard fight. I definitely need to take the regen after this to recoup my forces, and yeah, we're gonna need to. This is what I was trying to avoid, actually, though it was inevitably going to happen. Unfortunately, the thing is, with how big the dwarfs are, they can do this again and again to me. Now, this is where it's weird. Fighting as dwarfs like that is actually better than fighting as beastmen like that, especially as they ended up fighting at their reinforcement points, so my reinforcements took a little bit longer to get in. However, what's really bad is because the dwarfs are far more stubborn, so they hold on the battlefield for longer. But you can see, again, some of my guys get huge amounts of kills here. Certainly my Minotaurs there. And some of my other things, I suspect my Bestigors will have got themselves a lot of kills as well. But we've taken a big loss here. Yeah, big hits here. So that is something I need to be careful of. And I might need to fall back into the terrain again for a while to recoup my losses, which I don't necessarily want to be doing at the moment. We'll see how much I get back when I run the recovery after this. When I eventually finish loading, guys, and then obviously we'll work out exactly what we're doing next and how we're doing it. I want to smash that settlement. The thing to remember as well is if I take lots of losses, I can actually hide. So 6%, and we did lose a few units there, but we did smash those armies. Now I need to chase them down to make sure that they don't have the opportunity to come back for me, guys. So I need to chase down those dwarven armies and smash them, and then I'm going to try and clear this area of dwarfdom here, of the Dowie lands, because if I can clear all of this area, I can I'll at least have a little bit of breathing space, though I don't have many allies around here anymore. I potentially should have gone over to try and help the orcs, but well, as you've seen, I've not really had much control over where I've gone this campaign. I've kind of been pushed around to an extent, and we did win that battle, and we can now go and chase down all of those dwarf armies. And we're going to chase them down, and we are going to slaughter them and eat their dead to get our army back up. So there's Clan Moors doing its thing. And actually, you know, that was the majority of the dwarfs in that area. So actually now they are, while they've fought that battle, if I chase them down, it will take them a while to get armies of that sort of size back into this area. However, they are still held up in Zvorak, so I do want to be a little bit careful with that. Okay, so we've got some of the enlightened things. Oh no, Gora's Heartrender died. And that's a bad thing, actually, because that's going to affect my income. Oh, and I also lost a Gorbel there as well. Nurgle, Foul Stink. Campaign movement range. Right. Let's make sure we've got all of my hordes in range here. Okay, so maybe that's not quite so good. Let's try and ambush him. Try and ambush him twice. Okay, now that's better. That's a nice easy auto. Eat their dead. Oh wow, I lost all of my bestigals there. Right. Let's take a buff. Start pushing through horde growth with you. Okay, right, we need to disappear into the land for a little bit here. Okay, what can you recruit? Where is Malagor? So you need to get your bestigals back. What else am I missing here? A couple of gores. We're actually going to go for centaurs with great weapons. Simply, I really don't see the fighting dwarfs. They've got the armor piercing damage, which helps. You, what are you going? You are going straight down the normal gores. We need some more archers here. Okay, that'll do. These two can do a little bit of combining. Where is my Bray herd? I had a Bray herd. It's potentially got mashed. Right, you guys can even possibly recruit some of your own units now. Actually, what I'm going to do is I might need to start making these guys cheaper armies because I'm having income issues at the moment. At the moment, anyway. So until they've leveled up, I might need to start keeping these guys as cheaper armies, just cheaper support hordes. So I might get rid of their gores and some of their heavy units. And in which case their jobs will just be to provide. Basically, their jobs will be to provide a meat shield for the main horde. So their jobs will be to go in first and take the majority of the hits, while the main herd follows up behind them. And that will massively reduce the upkeep because I've got a lot of expensive units in those hordes. Whereas if I fill them full of gauls, they're cheaper. And then I can hold my second herds full of monstrous units effectively, which are their support herds effectively. So they're coming up. Their job is to come up behind with all the heavy units, which will get far more reductions from being in those hordes with the stones, which reduce the upkeep. Certainly until I can start getting those herds to a better size where I can build them up and get the better buildings to reduce their income. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start moving some of my big units up to the other ones. So my main herds are going to have a lot more big units in them. Whereas my secondary ones are basically going to be a line of Ungors or Gors and archers. Okay, so we'll start tweaking them around next turn anyway. We're still going to keep some Bestigors in my big herd. How we might tweak it so we've just got a couple in each or something. Though I do like the Bestigors. I actually wish I could afford more Bestigors because they are they're very, very solid units, but I just can't afford them at the moment. But that was, as you saw, that was probably one of the biggest battles I've fought, and it was just messy, guys. Unfortunately, if it had been on an open field, I'd have probably been able to do better, but because of its situation, it was just messy. I couldn't really make a benefit of my charge because I just got stuck there. Okay, you can join this horde. Right. How much is Centaurs? So you now have a lot more big units. Centaurs are 88, 165 in this place. How much are Ungors in here? So the Gors aren't actually much cheaper. Right, so let's take the Gors back. Okay, and you can do the same thing with Malagor. Transferring too many units causes dissatisfaction. Oh well. I'm sure they'll cope. And these little hordes are going to be cheaper units. You can see that straight up made a big difference without me even trying. Okay, so we're in a better state now anyway, guys. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. We'll re-tinker with that at the end of the next session. Sorry for the little bit of a boring end then, guys. So we'll get on with that next turn. We'll make those other ones cheaper so they're more chaff units to throw around the place just to save us a bit of money so we've got a little bit more time. Anyway, guys, I thank you very much for watching and thank you for your time.